This is Unrelegated live at Hudson FC, our headquarters, our HQ, Booth A, on this Tea Sippin' Tuesday. That's right, sipping some tea. We should have all had gotten tea.
Yeah, you know.
After that,
unless you're Piers Morgan, in which case it looks like you're smoking something.
And if you missed the World Cup match, U.S. versus England, shame on you, number one. Or watch the replay. Hopefully you've watched the replay by the time this comes out and you're listening to it. But yeah, I mean, what a match, man. I mean, what a goal celebration.
2-1 up. I mean, it was Alex Morgan, ultimate form of disrespect, I guess, depending on who you ask. England feels very aggrieved by the fact that she sipped tea.
Yes.
Or as
very disrespectful.
Or as mentioned, looked like she was smoking something. But that's only, again, if you're Piers Morgan and you're just really upset about the whole fact that England wasn't better, so they lost. Congrats, America. We're amazing.
U.S. moves on after facing I mean, to be fair, it was a little close there. I mean, it was a close match. There was a close offside call.
It was off, though.
There was the whiff goal, which got called a penalty, and the penalty was saved by Moyer.
Ball that don't lie.
Yeah, and so it was a crazy match, man.
Yeah, it was probably as exciting as you can get for a World Cup semifinal.
Yeah.
It's what everyone deserved.
Yeah, all the chaos.
I felt that the winner of that one is most likely going to be the winner of the World Cup. I mean, Sweden and Netherlands play tomorrow. That'll be a good match, but I still think that England have been playing so up to this point. The United States, tough fixture against France, tough fixture against England.
Yep.
I just think they're showing how good they are. They're showing they're the class of women's football in the world, and hopefully they can make it a fourth World Cup come this weekend. But it was a tough test. I had nerves going into it, to be perfectly honest with you. I wasn't sure how they'd do. I wasn't confident enough to
be
but
you wore your lucky Magic Eye shirt.
I wore my 90s gaudy looking warm up top.
Aaron, if you look closely, you can see a schooner.
Okay. Oh, that's what you were talking about with all the memes that you were posting.
It's amazing.
Now I see what you're talking about.
Not a scooter, it's a sailboat. Oh, man. The voices that you're hearing right now, Tanner McLeod and Aaron Bauer, our guest for the day.
Happy to be here.
Self-invited himself, which, by the way, you can do that. I mean, it's like... You can do that if you want.
I've ended up on so many podcasts around Atlanta by just tweeting at people and being like, bring me on your podcast. And they're like, what is this guy talking about? Then we have a great time. So I end up getting invited back. So can't wait to see you in a few weeks.
You're setting high expectations here. You think you're going to get invited back? Okay.
Oh, absolutely not. I'm wearing a Red Bulls jersey on your podcast. I know my role.
Well, we'll find out. There's still plenty of time to screw this up. So, guys, if this is the first time you're watching, we're an uncensored kind of self-deprecating podcast. We cover kind of soccer lifestyle culture. We're not really big into the tactics and all that fun stuff with myself, Jay, Kelly Francis, and Jessica Charman. And, we're just focused on everything Atlanta soccer, and we're glad that you joined us, whether you're watching us on YouTube or listening to your favorite podcast catcher. By the way, guys, I have to say this. I started a new series. It's on Atlanta United Fan TV. It is called Five Stripe Five. And
it's fantastic.
It's basically just a quick rundown of, as fast as I can go into just all the things, as I say, we think you should know, even if you don't know you need to know it, we're going to tell you anyways.
It's basically that New York Times podcast every morning, The Daily, but 5 minutes on Atlanta soccer, but in video format. So it's nothing like The Daily, but very good.
It's just like it, but not.
Exactly. It's like all the podcasts, but short and abridged and funny because it's you.
There you go. So now I've set the bar way up here. And now
we'll bring it slowly back down to earth.
Yeah, those views will just slowly start to degrade or quickly degrade. We'll see how I do on the second episode. I hope to pump them out. Don't want to set expectations too high here, but anywhere between 3 and 5 days, depending on how much new stuff happens between then. I'm not just going to do it just to throw out
We
some
have to
stuff.
have news to talk about.
You have to have something interesting to talk about.
Well, the month of July will have a lot.
I guess I could make stuff up. That would
could.
be interesting.
I mean,
oh yeah.
Now, 5 stripe 5 things that may be true, maybe not. Your job to find out.
Right. Yeah.
That's basically what blogging was.
Yeah.
It's just creating content.
You'll be the Darren Eales.
Darren Eales quits, becomes stand-up comedian.
Yeah, exactly.
Your 5 favorite players from 2005 in MLS that may be related to Atlanta.
Your 5 favorite Atlanta United players from 2015.
There you go.
We could choose all fun stuff. Anyways, now that's a whole new series. We got to think of something different. So, just to recap, there was a soccer match. And Aaron, you are wearing a Red Bulls jersey. but you have season tickets.
I do.
To Atlanta
I go
United.
to as many Atlanta United games as I can.
Yeah.
It's definitely a different.
Just to boo Atlanta? No.
No, I mean, so it's a very different experience than it was in 2017 when there was absolutely no expectations around and the two teams didn't really hate each other.
Right.
Well, I guess that changed after match 1, but still, there was like cordialness. I was having fun. I wanted to see the team do well. I still do. I enjoy watching live soccer, so that's why I pay for season tickets. It's a great atmosphere. I genuinely enjoy going to Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and I loved going to Bobby Dodd too. I mean, I recommend it to everyone. I think there are things that could be improved, obviously, but that's just from my experience of knowing what other teams offer. But overall, it's a great investment. I have so much fun. And, I mean, I like watching the team that's here.
What, you think we're going to sit here and take suggestions from a guy in a Red Bulls jersey? Is that what you think this is?
The one thing that's real major difference between Red Bulls games and Atlanta United games is the fact that there's actually people at Atlanta United games and not covered seats. So,
Oh, goodness.
You don't need to tell me. I'll be the first to criticize our front office.
Right into it.
We've just gotten right into it. But 2-0 final. Justin Meram with the brace opens up
2-1.
as a count. 2-1, sorry. Was that goal that really happened?
It was just stupid. It was kicked, deflected, and it went
actually,
in.
that is very important because that's the first game that we've won where we've had a goal scored on us.
Yes.
So that is a very important differentiator there. So 2-1 final. Thank you, Tanner, for reminding me of that crap defending. And then Justin Meram opening his account with Atlanta United with those 2 goals. And as I said, in 5 straight 5, that's 2 goals in 5 games. And now he has 2 assists with the 2 U.S. Open Cup matches. So he's having a grand old time.
Breck Shea got the assist on the winner as well.
With the assist.
A wild
First
Breck
he's like putting his body on the line to block soccer balls with his body on the ground, like a log on the ground, and then and that's a long way to fall for him. And then he's getting assists. So
like a tree wrecking in the forest and just fell on the floor.
You can't teach being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
It's a very valuable skill. I'm not saying that ironically, and Breck Shea showed that he has that still.
No, if you watch his run where he goes and gets in position, he waited. He hung out and just kind of waited till he disappeared and nobody was paying attention to him, and then he just made that run perfectly. And I still don't understand how he actually didn't score the goal.
How he just didn't poke
like
it
the
in
way he
himself.
hit his
He could've
foot.
just gone straight.
I was like, how did you not get that in the back of the net? But he was trying to do a solid for Justin, who's had a rough year or so, and needs to boost in confidence.
Well,
so
you can see how much it meant to Justin Meram, though, holding his hands up, listening to the crowd that clearly loves him, as opposed to when he played at that team in Florida, putting his fingers in his ears because he didn't want to hear those people giving him death threats and shit.
Big difference in the celebrations going on.
Yes.
And so we had the wonderful Breck Shea assist. PT continues to be an enigma to me. He'll be good one half and then he's not good in the other, and it's kind of the same thing we've seen here where he was subbed off at like the 65th minute for Pereira. And Pereira came on and made an immediate impact, had a shot on goal, and was just on fire as soon as he came in, and it was a huge difference. Frank de Boer has been pretty measured in his. I do like the way that Frank de Boer is completely different than Tata, where he talks openly to the media about things he's talked to the players about. Probably not everything, but he believes that they're big boys, they're professionals, so they should be able to handle it. And he basically says, I told PT I thought he was going to cost us. He was making mistakes.
A danger to the team.
He was a danger to the team, but I still believe in him, and he can improve and that sort of thing. So I like that transparency. I like that aspect of it. I know not everybody feels the same way. Some people like the style of Tata where everything's kept in the locker room and it's just very professional. You don't really you have to the journalists have to kind of figure out by what he's saying, is it cryptic, like what is he getting. It makes it a fun game, but at the same time,
I wonder how much of that was the language barrier. Just being honest.
That's part of that. But also,
Tata knew what he was saying.
Yeah, you had people. You had Spanish language journalists in there a lot asking questions, and
for sure.
I felt like he didn't give him much leg room either.
No, it's just a completely different style, and I think de Boer, for me, I did not like how he approached this season from day one. I'll be honest. I honestly thought, a third of the way through, he should have been gone. He looked just as lost as he did in Inter and Crystal Palace, and he's made a commitment to a more defensive style of play. And maybe it was just a lot more jarring than how Tata played, which was free, open, flowing soccer. versus kind of methodical, rhythmic Dutch soccer. And that whiplash may have caused some friction in the beginning. And I credit to the front office here for sticking with him.
Well, I think they also all got together and had meetings, everybody.
Oh, I'm sure.
Bockenegger, all of them saying, listen, we got to figure this out.
There was definitely a come-to-Jesus moment, I think, where you could tell where even the interview that came out that he did in New York before the Red Bulls match, where he talked about how he usually prefers the last training session before a match to be serious, structured, going through everything, but most of the team prefers to have a scrimmage where they just play against each other and it be loose and light. And he's like, they love it. I hate it, but it is what it is, and he made that. He changed. He adapted, and I think that he is becoming more comfortable with the league and with the style of play and the culture that is here, and he's trying to figure out that happy balance between what he wants and what the team wants. And I think that maybe it doesn't end with an MLS Cup or something this season, but I think as time goes on, it's probably going to be really important for the culture of this club to be built in a way that is different from the rest of MLS teams.
Yeah, and I mean, despite obviously the defensive errors the last couple matches that occurred, overall we've been pretty defensively stout. If you look at comparative to the last couple of seasons in terms of number of goals allowed, and
that's his style.
Yeah, it is, and
what he's
so he's still trying to figure out that balance clearly, and I have faith. But the biggest thing for me is getting used to. It's taking me time to get used to the different style of play from an entertainment aspect.
Absolutely.
Because at first, I was bored to tears. And there were a couple matches where obviously they were booed and other things were just dreadful. It's not that, but the Montreal game, I enjoyed it a lot more because I think I'm now getting used to it. That style of possession, and my expectations are not way up here in terms of attack soccer and let's go. So that's part of it. The other part, though, is that it still can be boring at times. We're just so compact in there. How many times did Pogba raise his hand and was screaming for the ball, and they stay and drill down the middle? LGP
would look at him and then be like, never mind.
Wide open Pogba, and LGP makes a run down the middle and stuff like that. And it's clearly there are things to still be worked on. And
also they haven't had a left back to be able to do anything that they've trusted so far this season.
It's just for me. I'm like, do the players still fully trust the system yet, or is that a symptom of well, I'm not going to boot out wide because I want to try and make something happen, and I'm going to run into the middle. I don't know why they're doing that, but it doesn't seem like Frank de Boer. I understand we've been limited because we haven't had a full-time left back, and Escobar was out, so we haven't been able to implement that Dutch style, the wings up and super far up and get attacking. And if you look at some of the heat maps that were just put out by I can't remember who did it. Maybe it was Analysis Evolved, but there's some heat maps that show our wings are just dead in terms of activity. And Pogba was a breath of fresh air because he was trying to make those runs forward. Now, he doesn't not full fitness, but it was good to see. He wasn't great, but he was good. And I'm wondering if now we have a full, healthy Escobar. He can stay healthy and he can stay away from yellow card suspensions. And we have someone like Pogba who can reside in that left for the time being until we get some more depth. Will we finally maybe start to see the guys trust that more and start going to the wings?
That could also be a consequence of the squad you all have.
Yeah.
Villalba he wasn't a 90-minute player under Martino, and it doesn't look like he has the trust to be a 90-minute player under De Boer. Martinez is much better in the center than he is out to the wing. When he's better cutting in, getting the ball in the center. Martinez obviously is, your target striker, and the one thing I can't stand De Boer doing is pulling him back and being almost a false nine.
Tell me about it.
And that's how he plays, and it's right now you've got the best
and
target striker.
And thank God Joseph is really good at it.
Yeah,
but
he's good at it,
but it takes away goal scoring opportunities. I think in some respects, but
at the same time, it's
unless you're wingers.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It makes sense if you have guys like Tito or Barca, or you have people that are going into that position off of him, to where when he drops back and pulls a central defender or pulls a midfielder, someone goes and occupies that space and then can make
and that's
runs
Barco.
in behind.
Barco's the guy that was unlocking those defenses for us before we were relying on Justin Miram to do it
wonder goals from 25 yards out.
Us, right?
So maybe now, integrating Pereira and integrating Miram is a sign that he has some wingers that he can trust and play this way, because otherwise your main players were Naby, were Remedy, were Martinez in the middle, and obviously Joseph. So you really have strong center backs that move forward. LGP is best when he's going up And people used to like scream at him the first season doing that. I was like, no, push him up further. He knows what he's doing. You've got Guy Parkhurst behind him who can cover for him. Now you've got Miles Robinson who can do it even better.
Yeah.
And so, maybe the lack of that activity on the wing is just because you have such great players in the center of the field and can unlock those defenses.
Yeah, I just think they still haven't figured out the wingback situation, and until they are fully unleashed and they feel confident to go forward and the other players feel confident in them to give them the ball so they can give service. Because that's the other thing we're missing is now Gressel was playing in midfield, right? So we were missing those crosses from the right side. And so it felt everything was just going through the middle. And Montreal did exactly what they did last time. They played a 4-5-1. They sat mid the low block, and they sat in they didn't move. They're very disciplined. They were in that same position the whole time. So thankfully, Justin Meram, scored that goal to really unlock them. But without that, it was a concern that maybe we were going to get a draw.
If you're going to go far, you need those games.
Yeah.
You need those games where nothing's working, but all of a sudden you find a spark. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So just good to see that all these different pieces we have as backups are having impacts. Pereira, Miram, etc. Breck Shea off the bench is fantastic, especially if he can come off the bench as a left wing. And when he took less risks even in the Toronto game, and did fine, I thought, as a left back, and had that goal save, obviously, and things like that. So I feel we're progressing. That's the main thing. We're going forward. And hopefully P.T. Martinez figures it out, because if he ever starts clicking into gear consistently, then I don't see how we wouldn't make a long run through the playoffs, because he's the kind of guy that could do special things, and that's what I would like to see, is by the end of the season he's doing the kind of stuff we were seeing in in Copa Sudamericana or in Libertadores and all these things. So anyways, moving on, Mike Conti's treasure chest. We have some stats. He had a whole bunch this week. He was just spitting them out like crazy. This guy, I don't know how he retains all this information. He's a research hound, and we just like to share some of them with you, because you may not follow him on Twitter, or you may have missed them. Atlanta United has now won 10 of their last 13 in all competitions. This is also the first time in 2019 they've won an MLS match in which they've conceded a goal, which we talked about. Also, at the exact halfway point of the season, Atlanta United is now on pace to earn 58 points. Since going to the 34-match schedule, 58 points has been enough to get at least second place in the East every year, except last year when NYC finished third. Atlanta United has 11 matches left against teams currently above the playoff line, 5 on the road, and 5 matches left against teams who currently have more points than them, 3 on the road. So it's only just about to get difficult.
Well, I think it's the next month. It's July.
Yeah.
I mean, July, you have trips to LAFC, you have trips to Seattle. Those are going to both be very difficult.
That's going to be a wild
Red Bull match
game,
at home.
LAFC.
You're playing twice a week. Throw in the U.S. Open Cup on the 10th as well. So if you win that, you're going to end up having a semifinal for that come the beginning of August. So you're going to need everyone. You're going to need people to get fit, which is why I think Barco's not being rushed back, because they know that you're going to need him later in the month. No sense in rushing him back to get him hurt. I think you'll find out really what kind of team Atlanta United is by the end of July. If they're occupying the top spot in the East, I'd be surprised. They do have games in hand on the teams above them, but it's going to be a very difficult month for them. And depending on how they come through it, I think will tell you how this team will end this season.
Yeah. Some quick news. Josef Samuel was released by Atlanta United too. Generally good guy. We've met him. I've met his family. His family owns seats like a few rows behind us in the club section there, where Tanner has joined me recently a couple of times.
I've escaped the beer targeting in the supporter section.
And I used to rotate. Like I was in the first season. I was in the supporter section 80% of the time, but now Jenny goes to more games, and my wife, and so we started to use our club seats more, and then lately I've just been inviting Tanner and other people to
fight someone to get into the club section this time.
I know, that was pretty wild. There's some new employees. Clearly, we had some adventures with some of those new employees.
It helps if I have the right ticket pulled up as well.
So Josef Samuel on his way out. We they don't tell us what happened. We have some speculation, but we can't talk about it. But we don't know. They don't tell us exactly what happened. I get the feeling that it may have been because he didn't have a lot of playing time. Maybe he wanted to go somewhere else because he wasn't performing badly. He was in form. I know he had an injury there for a while, and he's a really great player, so I think he'll be successful wherever he goes. So I think we'll see him pop up somewhere. So good luck to Yosef. Generally good guy. He actually came back last year from an away match in the van from Atlanta United 2, back from a long road game like from Louisville or something, and literally got out of the van, and we were doing a podcast-a-thon at Soccer in the Streets at the training ground, and got some ice cream and sat down with us and talked with us for 20 minutes while all the other players were like, I'm not even going home, right? I'm tired. He hung out and chilled with us, which was very cool. So that was my introduction to Yosef, and just a really fun guy. Some other first-team news, Romario Williams traded to Columbus Crew for $100,000 in GAM, which is the same amount as for Justin Miram, right?
Or as I put it on Twitter, a pack of Skittles and 2 Oreos.
Right. So I think that's a fair trade.
Yeah, fair trade. I think it's worked out so far. It's provided some nice benefits.
Frank DeBoer just came out plain and simple and said that Vasquez won the spot. That's what basically urged the move. And Romario he'll get more playing time in Columbus, I hope. I know you got Jossie, right? You got Jossie's artist up there, but at the same time, he's a like for like, though. I think more like to like backup for Jossie. So
Jossie's reliable. Not
he scored 3 goals in the Gold Cup, right?
Who were we playing?
Just saying. I mean, he could put him away if he gets service. If he gets service, yeah. He's a quality striker. Is he going to get you 25 goals? No, but
he's a 10-goal-a-year guy in MLS. You need that.
And I think Romario will enjoy it up there. They have new ownership, and I know they're not performing well right now, but it looks like the team has a good future ahead of them.
Have a future, which is at least a nice start.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Emerson Hindman.
Yes.
Emerson Hindman.
Very interesting name for an American, no less.
Yeah, he did his signed midfielder, by the way, signed with Atlanta United, if you didn't know. If you're not in the know, didn't follow Darren Eales with his crazy horse reference. And
I still do not understand.
It was a picture of Bournemouth.
Yeah, Bournemouth.
And then Crazy Horse is the name of a player, a female player for something that has the same initials as Emerson Hindman or something like that. So for Liverpool.
Who comes up with this stuff? Does he have it in his own head?
In his own head, for sure.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an Ivy League guy who's just, this is wheels turning every day.
Yeah.
He thoroughly enjoys the cryptic. I mean, it could be, we could have worse club presidents that just hate everyone and don't
If
say
he wasn't
shit,
running a football club, he would be winning Jeopardy, probably.
Yeah.
Or working with Will Shorts on the
Or be the Riddler.
crossword.
There you go. So Emerson Hindman signed with Atlanta United from AFC Bournemouth on loan with the option to purchase at the end of the year. He's young. He's, 23 years old. So he still has a lot of potential. Maybe we need some youth in the midfield. Nagbe, we don't know what's going to happen with him, with what happened earlier in the season in terms of, is he staying? Is he going? He said he didn't know. That's not a great sign, right? We know he has family in Columbus. And we know his favorite coach is there.
Yes, college and professional.
His second father. And so we just don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. I just don't see how he's going to break in and have much time. But at the same time, maybe we'll see him in the U.S. Open Cup.
Well, that's his first match that he'll be eligible. Will be the U.S. Open Cup match against St. Louis FC on the 10th because the transfer window does not open until the 9th, so he can't be registered till then. I think he's a good player in the fact that he provides you depth in position that you had none in. In your midfield, outside of Nagbe, Remedi, and Lorenowitz, you had nobody.
Well, the debate is he an 8 or is he a 10? And I'm like, I don't know. Is Larry an 8 or 10? I mean, who cares? He's a midfielder, and so just stick him in there. If Remedi or Nagbe is out, stick him in there. I know he's more attacking-minded, whatever that means. He scored some goals in the Scottish Premier League when he was on loan there, but...
I mean, it really only matters if it depends who you pair him with. Because if you're putting him with Remedi, who's clearly a
destroyer,
a sprayer and really defensive midfielder, it gives him some room to be who he needs to be, and that's where you can kind of see how he's going to fit in. Whereas if you put him with someone like Nagbe who's going to push up the field a little bit more, you might set him up for failure because you're requiring him to track back and play defense.
I think most people are agreeing that he'd probably be a replacement for Nagbe to give Nagbe some and potentially if they're afraid that Nagbe's not going to be here down the line, we needed some depth to just be prepared for that inevitability and someone who's young. And if he does well, then he's got a future here.
He's a young technical midfielder that is best suited for a system like DeBoer's trying to run. He can put his foot on the ball. He can dictate the tempo. He can play with the ball, which is important. I think that I don't know how maybe he would fit in a midfield 2. I think he'd be great in a midfield 3. I'm not going to get super technical into that, but I think that he's a good young player, and Atlanta United, nailed it last year with Eric Remedi. So let's see how this one turns out. But I think you'll see him playing in July at some point because you're going to have that rotation. And Nagbe and Remedi can't start every single match, and he's much younger than a Jeff Larentowicz. So hopefully
he does take up an international slot, but we cleared a couple of those up, obviously, with Gallagher and Gressel.
He does?
Doesn't he?
He's American.
No, he's American.
He is American.
We traded an international slot.
Yeah,
we traded an international slot.
This season and an international slot.
I'm on a roll, guys. I'm on a roll.
Along with, I believe,
150,000. It was
misreported. Rights.
Yeah, it was misreported for 200,000. He was an FC Dallas Academy guy, so we had to get the discovery rights.
He hasn't played. He wasn't in FC Dallas Academy for almost 10 years. He goes off to Fulham, and he's been there since like 2010. How can you be like, oh, I discovered something 10 years ago. It still belongs to me.
Because they don't pay percentages.
How they changed the rules, but especially with disco rights, you submit a list at the end of every year. And with Heinemann, he really hadn't been playing that much.
Yeah.
So I think in Dallas's mind, they're like, well, he knows our system. He's from here. Let's put him as one of our 5 every year.
Yeah.
He might come back. Worst comes to worst, another team picks him up, and we get at least $50,000 and the first right to refuse. So it makes sense for them to keep him on his list every year almost.
It's kind of stupid you can have a list like that. He's like, he hasn't been there for forever. I think he has
the way everybody else deals with it is they put it in the contract that they get a percentage sell-on in the contract that so it's just, but MLS, we don't get a lot of people going away from MLS to Europe to get those kind of contracts. So I think that was created.
You're seeing a wave of people coming back now, actually.
Yeah.
I would say it's kind of the opposite. I mean, the Red Bulls have had a couple of guys come back. I know the big one is Kyle Duncan, who's the backup right back right now. Was in the academy, went to Liga 2 for a little bit, played in the reserves from the team starts with V. It was a World Cup host. I can't pronounce it to save my fucking life, so I'm not even going to try. And then he came back. And essentially, we didn't have to keep his discovery rights or anything. We had the first right of refusal. You had Russell Canoes at DC United, was another Red Bull guy who went to Hoffenheim, came back. So there's been a couple of guys. You're seeing a wave of young guys. The next target, the Red Bulls, who I really hope they get, is a guy named Matthew Olasunde, who was finally released by Man United. He went to their U23 Premier League 2 team and now is looking to come back to MLS if he doesn't sign anywhere else.
Well, why are we giving away international slots, though? Aren't those like our bread and butter that we need?
Well, yeah, but it also
you have a good lawyer.
You have a good
lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh my God, my
team
can't get a green card to save their life.
We can get everyone a green card.
Somebody's got dirt on somebody in the government.
I don't know who it is, but it's like, oh, you play for Atlanta United and green card.
And we've got a lot of people coming into Hudson right now to watch the Copa America match, which Argentina is in. And that means, well, that they knocked out Venezuela, segue, so Joseph is coming back. And he will be, according to Frank DeBoer, he will be available in Chicago.
I think he starts.
He hasn't played. He has played all season long without any rest.
Keep Vasquez going.
He
He's
didn't
playing
start
really well.
at all for. He wasn't.
Why
he
would
barely,
you?
He barely played any minutes for Copa America.
Doesn't matter. Why would you start him? Like why against Chicago? Why would you start him? Why risk it? Just let him
save him.
Bring him
for
on the
Red Bulls
6th
game.
Bring him on the 70th minute.
Yeah,
he's hungry, man. That dude does not like sitting on the bench.
I don't care. That make him even better off the bench then.
Then make him score 3 goals off the bench for you.
I'm fine with that.
Vasquez is playing really well. Don't mess with a good thing, especially with a guy coming off like a 10-hour flight from Brazil, which I have done plenty of times to Atlanta, and it's not fun.
The podcast comes out Wednesday morning. The match is, if you're listening, tonight. And so leave in your comments, do you think Joseph will start or not? Let us know on YouTube. And we'll see who wins all the things.
Hopefully Atlanta United.
And in Atlanta United injury news, Bello's still out forever. Ambrose, I don't know what's going on with him. They've been back in training for weeks.
He had his meniscus taken out.
Oh, God. Kratz is still out. Is he going to go on an injury waiver or whatever?
I don't know. He had to restart his rehab.
They're so quiet with him. I'm like, is he done for the season? Like, open up a slot, get somebody in here, because if he's not going to be able to play, what's the point? He's just taking up a roster slot.
They're really strict about that. So if there's any hint of him possibly coming back
before the
year,
playoffs,
don't do it, because it can screw over a guy, and essentially, unless the medical professionals are sure he's gone for the year, that roster rule is so inflexible, it's not worth it.
And the Tito injury is not progressing as quickly as they had hoped, so who knows when Tito will be back. I don't think there's any other injuries.
Ezequiel Barco is being...
his hamstring, but I think he'll be back quicker than Tito, it sounds like. So it was less of a strain. In league news, the only thing I care about is the FC Cincinnati was drubbed 7-1 by Minnesota. What are they doing over there?
It's going well.
Like, what are you doing? Like, Greg Garza's hardly played, and that was a genius move by Darren Eales looking back because he's been injured and stuff. And, I mean, they have no offense, and now clearly the defense is just folded, and they have no coach. They have
no coach. They have no allocation money. They can't add anyone. They stocked half of their roster with USL guys, so they have no depth.
You have people on Reddit that are FC Cincinnati fans who pack 30,000, 40,000 people in their stadium every match, right?
To watch their team get absolutely shithoused.
Who are begging to go back to the USL. I've never seen that. Even when Minnesota struggled, you never heard that talk. You never saw that talk. It was not. You never, as bad as it got, you never saw anybody from Minnesota going, "Oh man, I wish it was back in the USL days." But
they were
Cincinnati,
in the NASL, so there was always going to be a steep learning curve.
It's a little different too. Nobody in the NASL was folded. So
I think it's really sad to see, but I think it's been an unmitigated disaster. And honestly, I hope things come good for them, and it may take some time for them to get everything figured out. But I think it's a bit of a warning sign for this whole expansion thing with MLS. Not everyone needs to have a team. You don't need to have 30 teams in 4 years from now. I mean, even with the Miami team, they still don't have shit figured out at all, and they kick off in less than a year.
It's like two extremes. You have teams like FC Cincinnati that completely rushed into it, and then you have Miami, who's never going to get there. And so you have these two, find some balance. Nashville seems to be taking their time. It's going to be interesting to see how they do.
Austin's going to have a prick of an owner.
Well, yeah, but their prick of an owner is committed to spending money. So we'll see. I mean, because money. At least if you come in, incompetence can be covered up a little bit by money at first, but
that's what Atlanta United did. They just went out and said, okay, who's the best we can get? I mean, obviously you're not going to have a Tata Martino fall on your lap in these other places, but I mean, shit, Miami's Miami. They should be able to figure it out. Cincinnati, it's like
they did. They're gonna sign what's his face from
Luis
the U.S.
Suarez?
men's national team.
Tyler Boyd.
Tyler Boyd.
I mean, Miami's got some money behind them. They're gonna have a stadium built. That
at some point,
and they've got some guys in the front office. They've got McDonough, who built Atlanta in season 1 and 2. I mean, Miami of the expansion teams are the ones I believe that could actually make an impact.
Yeah,
because guys want to go to Miami.
Absolutely, I think they'd be great for the league to have it. But I mean, again, you see
they could do a lot of things wrong down there and still be fine because of the market, and that sort of stuff. Whereas these other markets don't have that luxury.
You have St. Louis is looking to come up. You have Detroit that's looking to come up. You have Sacramento. You have all these other teams that are trying to come up, and it's like. There's most of them, they can't figure out the whole money situation to how to fund the team, and you don't want another situation like Cincinnati because you don't. As much as it's cool for Cincinnati to have an MLS team, you don't want them to be getting beat 7-1 and have absolutely no idea what they're doing and have no light at the end of the tunnel, and for their fans to be begging that they were in a lower professional league.
Well, the light at the end of the tunnel is next year. You can go from worst to first in MLS so easily.
That's not going to happen with them.
Well, I mean, I think if anything, it's going to be gradual, like with Minnesota, where you'll see them gradually kind of get better. If they get, but the thing is, you got to hold on to a coach. You have to have somewhere there has to be consistency.
Yeah.
Right. Because you can't be throwing things out, throwing things in, ingredients constantly. That's not going to work. There's not going to be any consistency, and it's going to be unstable. But at least you see with Minnesota, they gave, obviously there was a 3-year plan. They gave Heat 3 years. If he doesn't make the playoffs, he's obviously gone this year.
And now they have their own stadium. It's incredible.
But I think they'll be fine. They're going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to do well, and they'll be okay. But it's a gradual thing. But even as bad as they were, they're on pace. Cincinnati's on pace to let in more goals than Orlando did last season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it all comes down to the front office. Minnesota was pretty open and transparent with their fans, saying this is going to be a multi-year project. We're going to suck in year one because we don't have the resources.
And Cincinnati was like, ignite. We're going to do it this year.
Because everyone looks at Atlanta and is like, oh, we can do that too. And it's like, well, okay, Atlanta spent $40 million on transfer fees and salary their first year. Not every expansion team can do that, and they also hired a salary cap wizard from the start.
Yeah. And Miami has that guy now.
Exactly. So that's what I was saying about Miami, and it's like Atlanta wasn't a championship caliber team in year one. It needed to figure itself out, and it got a lot of guys that they were very lucky in their international signings that they didn't have a Barco in year 2.
Yeah.
Or they did, year 1 because...
Or like a PT Martinez now.
Right, exactly. Because they had guys who were clearly MLS caliber and could adapt in year 1 and then improve upon that in year 2, which is how they won a championship.
Looking ahead, Atlanta United are in 4th place, 2 games in hand with Philadelphia, who's in 1st place, 3 points behind, I believe. So I think with the goal differential or just the way things are set in the table right now in terms of our record, if we were to beat Chicago this week, then that would put us in 1st place. I guess that's important, but I mean, I don't know. Like this early in the season, like I'm like, oh, the table's nice, but as long as I'm in that top 6 right now, that's all I care about, right? So I don't stress about like, oh, like in the first season, I was like, we're number 1, yes, this week, and for this week, you know what I mean?
You
And
still
now
have this much fixture disparity. I mean, Montreal has played 3 more matches than Atlanta United had, and they're 1 point ahead of us. So it's like it's hard to really have anything figured out. And
until
honestly,
August, it's difficult.
Yeah, it doesn't matter until August, September, and when you're trying to figure out where you're going to go. And I mean, this season's going to be different.
All that matters is we're above the line.
Yeah.
Yes.
And from a team that was sitting in last place for the first 4 or 5 matches, and now they're making a push and could be in first. So.
All right. So looking ahead to Chicago, Mike Conti tweeted that Chicago will be without Jordan Mihalovic Wednesday with the U.S. men's national team now advancing. And since beating Chicago in the U.S. Since beating Chicago, what is it, 2nd of June or 1st of June? Since then, they've won. Oh, okay. They were defeated by St. Louis FC in the U.S. Open Cup, which I think we're facing them, right?
Yes.
Up next. They drew RSL at home, and they lost to New York Red Bulls just recently.
They haven't
the
won in
night.
their last 6 matches.
Yeah.
They're not doing well.
Not doing well at all. So yeah, I was telling the guys before the thing. I just don't care about this match. Like, I mean, it's important like any match, but every time we play them, it's like, I don't know. Like, I'm never entertained that much. It's never that. We've never played them in a situation where anything's on the line.
Minus the U.S. Open Cup match.
It's just one of those matches we have to get through, and we're just like, And that one time they stung us in the U.S. Open Cup, last year?
Yeah.
When we played all of our kids.
Bastian Schweinsteiger had a monstrous game on turf, and I still can't believe I saw that live.
Right, exactly, yeah. So, I mean, I don't really have much to add for this match other than just go and do something. Like, we need to,
win.
It's going to be interesting to
Get
see
points.
Yeah,
it's July. Survive in advance.
I want to. I think, and that's the thing is, even though we haven't had like a record-breaking away record, I feel like this team's built with talking about defensively that we should be able to go to Chicago. And we should be able to hold it down, and be able to get at least a point.
Well, defensively, they were a
definitely
nightmare. In the first match against Atlanta United on June 1st, they were all over the shop defensively. They had no shape whatsoever. Eventually, Atlanta United did finally go long to Joseph to get the second goal, but it's like, I see no reason to believe that they'll change at all from what we saw in that first match to this one.
Well, and he started
playing at home.
Nikolic, which is a target man, and against our system is never going to work. He was so isolated, and so he never had a shot on goal, I don't think. So if he goes that same route, if he plays tactically the same way he did against us, I mean, this is going to be a win.
Well, they haven't really changed. Even against Red Bulls this past week, they play with zero caution. They have no defensive shape. Their keeper likes playing around on the ball, which has how 1 goal went in. And they don't seem to really have any detailed tactical plan to attack the opposition. So I think for Atlanta United, go up there, see what you can get. They're probably going to allow the long ball, which is why, again, if Joseph's available, do it. But even with Brandon Vasquez, you can go long against this team. If they're going to leave space in behind and play Bastian Schweinsteiger as a center back and have him routinely press up and take the ball up and leave themselves with 1 guy at the back, then take advantage of that space and go over the top and bish, bash, bosh, you should get 3 points.
Yeah. I think if Joseph plays, I think we win 2-0.
I said 3-1 in 5 Stripe Weekly yesterday, so I don't think Chicago are that good. I think that Atlanta United cannot keep a clean sheet on the road to save their life right now, so Chicago will somehow score. They have dangerous attacking midfielders, but at the same time, Atlanta United is a better team. This is a result you have to go get. But Atlanta United has lost their last 3 road matches.
I think Breck Shea saves 3 shots with his balls. Like something like just amazing will happen, and it'll be.
I want Breck Shea to score. Damn it!
There'll be shots on target. There'll be close calls, but Breck Shea will just be flying all over the place. Like even when he's not playing, he's just gonna come onto the field, get a red card. Like he's gonna take over the team.
if you had the rare outfield player in goal for Atlanta United, would you put Breck Shea in goal?
Well, yeah,
he's huge.
Yeah, it would just intimidate people.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome. They wouldn't know what to do when they see a goalkeeper with dreads.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
and when he yells at him, "Good luck, bro."
Bro, I'm going to save your shot, bro.
Bro, I'm going to save your penalty right here. You're going right, and I'm going to go right, and I'm going to save it. Honestly, though, for y'all, the real big thing is just not getting hurt in this game. Go play 90 minutes, kick the ball around, don't get anyone hurt.
Let's look at the important match, shall we?
Let's have a full
Fuck
strength
Chicago
lineup
Fire.
for this match on Sunday.
Screw that nonsense. So, looking ahead to the match after Chicago against Red Bulls. Red Bulls could be without Kamara Lawrence, who's with Jamaica.
That's nice.
I think they will be because he's probably going to play in the third place match. So I do not expect him there.
And Derek Etienne with Haiti. If either or both of them make the Gold Cup final, especially, but then even then they may not be fit to play right off the bat.
Well, Etienne will certainly be in that third place match because that's huge for Haiti.
We heard them after the at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the Gulch after the game. There was a group of people tailgating with the Haitian flag. Yeah. And all of a sudden just erupted.
Oh, yeah.
And we're like, uh-oh, something's going on in the Canada game, Haiti game.
Everyone was talking about a Canada collapse, but I weirdly follow a lot of Caribbean soccer, and that team has been playing together.
Curacao and Haiti have been a real pleasure.
And not really a surprise, just kind of like finally realizing what CONCACAF has
I think the casual fan, it's a surprise.
Right, yeah.
If you've been following.
Weird Caribbean fan, not a surprise. Everyone else, I get the surprise.
It's starting to pile in. The Argentina fans are getting riled up.
Surprised that Curacao had enough people to field an actual team.
Yeah.
It's the Dutch diaspora.
Okay.
Now, since June 1st, Red Bulls creamed RSL 4-0, lost 3-2 to first place Philadelphia.
That game.
And then lost at home.
That game was stupid. I watched.
Lost at home to a New England who had a red card, 3-2.
Yes.
At home, and beat Chicago recently. So
well, that was the Open Cup game, New England, right?
Was it? All I know is I just remember a red card.
They lost to New England in another game, I think in Foxborough.
Okay.
And then the Open Cup game, which was 3-2, was a stupid game at Montclair University.
That's
right.
On turf. They're like we talked about the Red Bulls front office screwing people over. If you are a Red Bulls,
I remember when they moved it, it was like people were like, "What are they do? Like, what's going on?"
So if you're a Red Bulls season ticket holder, you get every Open Cup game for free up until the semifinals as part of your season ticket.
That's nice.
And then they charge for them
the semis and the final.
Yeah.
And so what happens though in the fine print, they found out it's every U.S. Open Cup game at Red Bull Arena. Yeah. So they moved the game from Red Bull Arena, and everyone then had to pay. And
I remember Red Bull Twitter blowing up on that when that happened.
I was pissed. I haven't been to a Red Bulls game since 2015, and I was pissed for that.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Aaron.
Yeah.
What landed you in Atlanta? Why are you a Red Bulls fan? Who are the Red Bulls? What is this history all about with the Red Bulls?
Yeah.
Tell us all about it.
Oh, well, this could take 2 hours. But
yeah, we're going to turn this into a Patreon. We're going to make people pay to hear the rest of this.
This is like War and Peace on Major League Soccer. Well, I've been in Atlanta for about 10 years now. First came down in 2009 for school. Never left. Had family here growing up, so have been in and out of the city since the mid-'90s. Very much love it. Have kind of built a life down here. Grew up in a very small town in New Jersey, North Jersey, so right in Red Bulls territory. Never really was a fan, though, until the early 2010s. I'm not going to lie. The Red Bulls were kind of like the joke growing up, the Metro Stars. Like it was always school spirit week. You had wear your favorite team's jersey to school, and there's always the one kid in 2002 wearing a soccer jersey, and he'd get clowned on because it's Giants, Jets, Mets, Yankees, Devils, Rangers territory. Oh, Knicks. And I guess Nets because they were good then.
Do people actually admit they're Knicks fans? I mean, especially
I'm a Knicks fan. I am a huge Knicks fan.
I'm so sorry.
I'm a huge Mets fan too. My life is just pain.
I used to take. See, I've only been to Mets games because it's the only tickets I could get. And when I would want to take a girl on a date, I could get Diamond Club seats.
Oh yeah,
which would get me club access and all this stuff. I could never get Yankees tickets. So all the girls I dated got to go to Mets games.
Disappointing.
When it was still in that concrete pissle of a stadium.
Oh yeah, I own 2 Shea Stadium seats. They're at my parents' house. We don't have room down here for them. They need to be shipped, but I'm a diehard Mets fan. But I guess I started getting into soccer like a lot of people in the United States right when NBC started getting the Premier League rights. I think it was a little bit before. The Red Bulls, all of my friends had started getting into it. They'd talk about how great Red Bull Arena was, but I wasn't really living in New Jersey. A team wasn't on Atlanta's radar. I'm very loyal to where I'm from, even though I don't live there anymore. Like, all my friends heard me incessantly talk about my 10-year high school reunion, going back to my small town, graduating class of about 130 people. Again, fiercely loyal to that area. It was right around when David Beckham was starting to come back from all those loans from Milan. And I just remember in the playoffs one year, it was 2011, followed the Red Bulls. It was one of those up and down years that they tend to have, sneak into the playoffs at the end. They're never going to go on a run because they always choke in the playoffs. I didn't know that. They were playing the Galaxy. They lost the first game 1-0 at home. I think Mike McGee scored. And then they went on the road in LA. I was watching the game down here in Atlanta, streaming it on a computer. The Red Bulls scored first and then proceeded to give up like 3 more goals after that. So they gave me that faint glimmer of hope. I got sucked in, haven't left since.
Yeah. So you were anointed through a true Red Bull baptism.
Yeah.
Of failing to make it through the playoffs.
I mean, I remember. I mean, the next year was just one of the most fucked things ever. When it was, they were first in the conference, finally looked like they were going to make a run in the playoffs, and then Hurricane Sandy happened. So the playoff controversy with DC, where they switched the legs so that they could, not have a game played at Red Bull Arena during Hurricane Sandy, which was smart. And then what ended up happening, which was really, really fucked, was there was a snowstorm like a week after, because Sandy happened in October, like the end of October. And then the return leg was like right around Halloween, like first day of November, and there was a snowstorm, and all these DC supporters like came up to New Jersey, and then they were looking to play the game, but it's snowing, and they're in the stands waving their flags. All the Red Bulls guys knew that they didn't show up because the game wasn't going to get played. Thierry Henry infamously was like going in and out of the tunnel. They're trying to like shovel the snow. Everyone watching on TV is like, just call it. We know it can't happen. And then they played the game the next day, and the Red Bulls, who had an away goal in the first leg, it was 1-1, managed to lose on an 88th minute goal to Nick DeLeon at home, 1-0 to lose in the playoffs that year. And then because history is written by the victor, all the DC fans love to write these famous first-person stories about how they stayed overnight in New Jersey so that they could see their beloved DC United at Red Bull Arena. Meanwhile, like, they were chanting some very negative things, and Hurricane Sandy legitimately decimated the area. People were still without power from the week before. It was a shit show.
So when I talk to Red Bulls fans, there are either two qualities that stand out to me. There's either the very bitter fan. There's self-loathing across the board, but there's the bitter fan, and then there's I just laugh at myself and this entire thing because we're cursed, and that's just the way it is.
So there's 3 levels of fans. I would say the second one you named, the one who laughs, has been there since the Metro Stars days. Then you have the ones who are just bitter. They've been there longer than most of the fans these days, but they've been there too long.
Yeah, become cynics.
And you're just like, that's where I'm at. I'm just a fucking cynic about everything. And then there's the thing with the Red Bulls is they cycle through fan bases like every 3 to 4 years because the cycle repeats itself. Like we've been blessed by a run of really good form since 2009. 2009 we had one of the worst seasons in MLS. And after that, we went worst to first and just started this cycle of buying guys for a lot of money but never finishing everything. And then it took until the end of that 2010 to 2013 cycle, which took 2 coaches, to go from like bringing Thierry Henry to like winning the first trophy in the franchise's fucking history 18 years in, when every other original team and then some had won a trophy because it's MLS, because they give out tons a year. Yeah, I know. It took us 18, and we're damn proud of it.
Yeah.
And then, it's the guys that stayed for 3 years, they start becoming bitter, and then just so many people give up because the front office treats the fans like shit. Half our stadiums tarped off right now. We don't know why.
They have empanadas.
They do have empanadas.
That's true. Breezes is saving grace.
The new fans are just like gaga about the empanadas on Twitter, and I'm like, just go back to the other memes, guys. The other memes were funnier. Like, we get it. Empanadas are good. And then it's just people get burned out watching this team, and I don't blame them. They can't win when it counts. They can win a supporter shield, which is very meaningful. Like, I was going nuts at the end of last year. I was watching the game down at Midway because I
was devastated when we lost the supporter shield.
Yeah, it all worked out.
Yeah, but still, it still hurts inside.
Yeah. Like it was 2 blocks from my house, and for us, the consistency of success has always been great. Winning any trophy, I don't think you can take for granted in MLS because it's so hard to keep a team in year after year. So that was, a lot of fun. And I know the guys that run the big supporters group for the Red Bulls, and they just put so much time and energy. And they're the ones that created this trophy years and years ago. Mm-hmm. And I mean, they keep the history of it alive. They literally ferry it around the country.
Our friend Robin was holding it up there when we lost to Toronto, ready to give it to Atlanta.
Yep.
Yeah, so it hurt especially for her. Yeah.
And that was kind of like a weird flashback because in 2013, when the Red Bulls finally broke through, there was a whole behind-the-scenes fight whether or not the Shield was going to be in New York, or I think it was RSL or Portland, who was tied with us on points or something, and the two supporters groups were bickering about who's going to do it, and everyone was like, we can't let the Red Bulls fans have it in their stadium, they're going to choke. And then Mike McGee fucking scores 4 minutes into the game, and everyone's like, oh my God, they were right, but they thankfully came back and won that game. But yeah, so it's like a weird parallel. And those are the stories that you hear when you're just a fan of a team for that long. MLS is so crazy, and when it gets weird, that's what I love. I love those 9 p.m. games that are just 5-4 or 0-0, but there's 4 red cards. When just shit goes crazy, that's the MLS I know and love. And it's starting to get away from that because I think there's just too many teams. Mm-hmm. But CONCACAF Champions League, the CCL After Dark.
Is a joke.
It's not.
It's a joke.
No.
Yes.
I mean, if you watched CCL
killer
5-6 years ago, it was we never had a chance. MLS teams were never.
We
as
still
good
don't
as
have a chance.
Yeah. Well, it's way better.
It's way better.
But yeah,
I mean, Atlanta got a bad draw.
Put it later in the season. Put it from August to the end of the season.
They used to have it
be there. I know it did.
And it was awful.
But it doesn't help us now to have it start at the beginning of the season, to have a rushed preseason. Then you're playing some team on the worst pitch that's covering concrete ever in the middle of nowhere, right outside of San Jose.
I think it's fine.
I think
it's fine.
I just right now, as it is with everything else, U.S. Open Cup, and now they want to add another tournament.
Yeah, that's stupid. I'm not for that.
Then if they're going to add this other tournament, get rid of something. Something's got to give.
Well, if you're going to bring back the Superliga, which was another weird relic from 2011, have the teams that aren't in CCL and not in the Open Cup.
There you go.
That's fine with me. You want to throw in some random friendlies?
If you're going to screw up everybody's season.
Exactly.
Make everybody get injured at the beginning of the season and all that stuff. Yeah.
Put FC Cincinnati in the new Superliga. I'd love that.
That'd be great. 27-1.
Exactly.
Herediano on versus FC Cincinnati.
Let's get weird. Yeah. It's
indoors.
People forget that the Champions League starts in July. It's like this for European teams when they're in the early stages of the Europa League because they're rebuilding after their financial implosions. The weird pitches in different areas is what makes CONCACAF unique and fun, and that's why I love all the mini tournaments that CONCACAF has below the Gold Cup. I fucking live for the Caribbean Cup. Montserrat got screwed by Jamaica. This is the conspiracy theory that I'm willing to die on and bringing to your podcast.
So let's
get weird.
New York Red Bull fans are crazy.
When you're not nerding out, listen.
E from High Press Podcast and this guy. Yeah. My baseline I'm drawing from. Mental.
And E is all hyped about the Caribbean teams, too, when you watch his Twitter account. So it gives him something to cheer about. When you look at what's happened between... did you attend the first Atlanta game?
I was there.
So you were there.
I was there from day one.
The Red Bulls won.
Yeah.
And what's changed between the dynamic between these two teams, from a Red Bull perspective? Because in Atlanta, I feel like we're starting to treat it like a rivalry. I think you get more of a mixed reaction from Red Bulls fans who are have been around and we've had real history with these other teams and da-da-da-da-da.
So, I mean, here's what I'll say. It's much more of an organic rivalry than what the league tried to do with NYCFC. And
is the city red or blue?
Like with NYCFC, the Red Bulls have, except for 90 minutes that we don't talk about because in the history of the universe, 90 minutes is so inconsequential, has never lost to Atlanta United in an MLS regular season game. Now, it was like that with NYCFC in the beginning, and Red Bulls love to talk about how it's not a rivalry until both sides win. And I think it is a rivalry here, but I mean, I would not say that I consider Atlanta United to be as big a rival as like DC United, for example.
Right. That's
Like,
historically the rivalry.
Yeah, I mean,
day one rivalry.
Yeah, that's day one.
And there's real hatred there.
Oh, there's beyond real hatred there. Like we joke about NYCFC being a rival because it's mostly like Red Bulls fans at this point.
But a lot
just
of Red
like,
Bulls fans are friends with NYCFC
Yeah,
fans. It's different because you're so close.
Well, it's because there's so many people who are NYCFC fans that were Metro Stars and early Red Bulls fans, and were just disgusted with the club and left. And then we're like, well, there's something new here, so why don't we latch onto it? And at the end of the day, there is a lot of commonality between a large portion of the NYCFC fan base versus a small faction of the NYCFC fan base, if you know what I'm talking about, as in we need to get those fascists out of that supporters group. So essentially, when it comes to that, it's like NYCFC hasn't made a run for a trophy, and they haven't made a run in the playoffs. So
And they play on a high school field.
Well, why do you think it's starting to feel like a rivalry? Is it because just the players are now on the pitch, like getting into it?
Yeah, they're getting into it.
Tito.
The fan bases are getting into it. There's organic back and forth online. There's content being created on both sides. Like, the fans are invested in this game. The league understands it's a marquee matchup because both teams have been very good. The interesting thing will be what happens when either of the teams have a down year, if the fan base
it still survives.
sustain it. Yeah. I mean, like, let's be real. Atlanta and Red Bulls have both had 3 very good seasons.
I mean, last year both of them had historic seasons.
Exactly.
Atlanta United had tied the record for Toronto
were
points.
both, back and forth in terms of point totals and stuff like that.
And that helped a lot. And, I mean, I think it was a large part of it was you have a lot of older Red Bulls fans that recognize the value of the supporter shield. And especially for the Red Bulls, we know we're not winning MLS Cup at the end of the year, let's be honest. It hasn't happened yet. I refuse to believe it'll ever happen until it does. And we cared a lot about getting back into the CONCACAF Champions League because we were, a game that we should have won away from a final against Toronto. Yeah. I mean, that game... I
true Red Bull fashion.
I have forever respect for Almeida at San Jose now because he played the opposite of what soccer was supposed to be. He just sat back and essentially played a 5-5-0.
Genius.
It was genius. Yeah. And the Red Bulls couldn't hit the broadside of the bar.
And now he's bringing San Jose, this trash team
that has no players.
Well, he's a brilliant coach.
To not just win, even if he was losing, they're playing exciting soccer, which I'm starved for now in Atlanta.
He might be the best coach in MLS.
If he doesn't win Coach of the Year,
it's going to be. We'll see how long the season goes because I'm not writing off GBS.
If Bob Bradley wins that damn Coach of the Year, I swear to God.
Well, Bob Bradley's also brilliant. I mean, honestly,
I don't give a shit. Get that bald head out of here. You already had your shot in Chicago and the best team in the MLS history. Blah 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 blah.
I had a drunken bet with someone in my section who thankfully no longer has season tickets in that section that Bob Bradley would win MLS Cup before Tata Martino, and I stood by it at the time. LAFC looked really good last year. I thought they were a run in the playoffs away from being in the final, but Tata showed for the first time
pragmatism
in a tournament. Pragmatism.
Yeah.
He did everything that he couldn't do in Copa America.
So what's your prediction coming up here? Close
Argentina
shot happening.
Almost scoring. That would be brutal.
This Brazil, we're gonna have to wrap this up so we can watch this game. Sorry, listeners and everything else, but it's 11 minutes into the Brazil-Argentina game, and it's already tasty. It's already tasty. So coming into this match, the Red Bulls game, what do you expect? What do you expect to see? What is your prediction? Maybe even throw in a score prediction.
Well, I expect to see Bradley Wright Phillips starting because I think he's going to come off the bench in midweek against Houston because Brian White has stepped up and turned into an MLS starter consistently. He loves playing Atlanta. He loves playing in Mercedes-Benz Arena. That game where we won 3-1 against y'all was one of the... I
remember when Bradley Wright Phillips missed a penalty kick in the All-Star game when I was there. That was fun.
That game when we won in Atlanta was one of the most fun sporting events I've ever been to. The reverse at the playoffs game was one of the worst sporting events I've ever been to.
I thought it was fantastic.
Your season ticket holders in your section must love you when it's Red Bull Day.
I go to the away section.
Oh, so good.
I will be in the away section.
You're gracious enough not to punish them with your shouting.
No, I know the people who run ESC, so I'm happy.
That's cool.
They hook me up with a ticket. I pay for it, and it's great. Scoreline, I just don't know. It's really going to be who is healthy and how many players are there.
Well, if Kamar Lawrence is not there, I will feel a whole lot better because he was an absolute
He's basically got our number.
Yeah, well, he is the best left back in MLS and has been since 2015, in my opinion. Here's the thing. 3 out of 4 of the Red Bulls back line is probably not going to be there. And I don't know how Tim Parker's health is. So it could be 4 completely new starters in that back line. Now,
the atmosphere, the environment, the team you really want to be.
But you guys, your rotation has never hurt you against Atlanta.
Well, rotation has never hurt us.
We've been punished regardless of who's on the field.
Like game 1 against Columbus, in Columbus, they had 9 reserves playing and they drew 1-1 on the road.
I remember that.
Yeah, they should have won. They should have won 1.
I remember.
1-0.
I didn't understand what was happening.
Yeah. So the Red Bulls will play positionally sound soccer based on their system. I think attacking-wise, Kaku is playing like a really good soccer player, and it's really weird to watch because he like broke a dude's face this year and like should not be in MLS
Don't
anymore.
get Jay started. Don't get Jay started.
Like I'm not trying to. Like I'm just trying to show that like I'm sympathetic to what you've always been.
Listen,
bringing
I
up.
can dislike someone as a human being,
Yeah.
and still respect that
Right.
they are that they're picking up their professional career and they're playing well. Then good for them. I don't wish any harm to anybody.
Right.
But I hate his guts.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you.
I hate his face. I hate him.
It was a really weird off season with him. I mean, I want to say that it's most likely probably going to end a 1-1 draw.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think the Red Bulls will have the defense there. But at the same time, who knows? Like Atlanta's not really in form right now with their starters because guys are coming back from these tournaments.
Yeah,
we don't know who's going to be available for either team.
It could be done, and we saw when Toronto started to press us. You know, they did the same thing they did last year. They started to, as soon as they started to press us, we started to freak out.
Right.
And we didn't play, and it wasn't until we started playing direct. So I hope that if we're gonna play you guys, I hope we play more direct.
I hope Armis comes out and says press the shit out of them.
Well, of course. I mean, it works.
That's what they're gonna do.
It works every damn time, and we act like we don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
We shit in the first game this season. You know, one man up for 70% of the match.
Yeah,
and Atlanta loses 1-0.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. Yeah.
We were
As I said in Sights and
the
Sounds,
stadium.
what are we doing?
So I want to, like, my heart is saying 2-1, but like I also don't know based on who's going to be available and who is healthy.
I think with Kamar Lawrence is probably
he's not going to be there.
I know, but I'm saying with him, you have a bit more likelihood of winning. I think he's that much of a game changer. I'm going to go with 2-2.
Okay.
A 2-2 draw.
2-1, Atlanta United.
Okay, Atlanta United's going to take it. So, so there you have it, Tanner.
This will be the one.
This will be the one.
This will be the
P.T.
one.
Martinez will score 17 goals.
If Peachy Martinez scores a brace against the Red Bulls, I'm just going to like stay in that seat and never leave it for the rest of my life. Because I don't think he's as good as everyone says. He's also like 4 years older than Almiron was when he came, and that concerns me.
Yeah.
Just because of him adapting. But I hope he surprises me because he's a fun player when he's doing really well.
He'll be fine. It's just I would rather he click on sooner than rather than later at this moment.
And if it's Red Bulls, perfect.
Yeah. Bring it on against the rivalry. Click it on, man. Even if you disappear for another game or two, like just do it against the Red Bulls.
I would like to see Bradley Wright Phillips score a goal because he's just been hurt all year, and there were, people like to make rumblings about players getting traded when they're gone for a long time.
Yeah.
Because the Red Bulls are notorious. Oh, here's another thing that our front office loves to do to us. We get attached to these star players, and then they just dump them right when we get attached.
Don't worry, you'll never lose Royer.
No, we will. We'll trade him to DC United like we did with Lloyd Sam and bring in another Daniel Royer like we did that year.
So coming up, guys, some events. Of course, there's World Cup watch parties going on. I think I think Atlanta United is hosting one at Re-Raws all the time. There's at Midway. There's here at Hudson FC.
They'll have the match on the Halo board before the New York Red Bulls game, I believe.
There you go. Also very cool. Soccer in the Streets. The ATL Champions League was moved to Silverbacks Park on July 13th because of the weather a few weeks ago from 11:30 to 5:30. And then way out from now, but just a heads up that if you do like to stay back and watch the unified soccer team, they only play typically like one home match, and that's it. So I think they're playing on July 21st after the DC United game. So we'll bring that up again next time. We do have a new iTunes review from Andrew ATL24, 5 stars. Very, very thankful for that. Thank you for the 5 stars. Jay, Kelly, and Jessica keep us updated on all the things Atlanta United on and off the field, all while having a grand old time doing it. Love these guys. keep up the good.
There it is. Oh, vamos Brasil!
Golazo.
Gabriel Jesus actually scored.
Meu amigão, Gabriel Jesus.
There are a lot of Argentina fans in here very pissed off right now. So thank you, Andrew ATL24, for that review and the Golazo.
Unfortunately, both of these teams can't lose.
We're at 88 reviews. Once we get to 100, we will do a giveaway. Please do leave us a review on iTunes and let us know what you think. We will read the review regardless of how many stars. That's how awesome we are. Also, coming up, we have, of course, you can find Jessica and Kelly on Soccer Down Here almost every night doing Women's Cup World coverage. So check out Soccer Down Here on the Soccer Down Here app, and you can get all of that fun stuff. And then, of course, Jess, Kelly, and I rotate every Monday, typically either 9:30 or 10 o'clock, most of the time 10 o'clock, and do a segment with Soccer Down Here on Monday mornings as well. Also, after you listen to this, go to Twitter. Over the next few days, we're going to be doing a Twitter giveaway. This week, we have a tee or a T-shirt by Mike Gurman, however you like to call it. At Thought Marker is his handle. And you can check out these shirts. We'll look for the tweet. We'll post a picture of what the shirt looks like. He's a local Atlanta artist. He's heavily involved, loves Atlanta United. And you can check out his store at Mike Gurman, GERMON.StoreEnvy.com. That's MikeGurman.StoreEnvy.com. You can go buy one, or you can wait and you can actually participate in the giveaway. And it's basically a hand with an A in it, very Illuminati. And then it's got basically fire, the crossed spikes, a crown, a peach, and it's all gold. And so it's really dope. So we'll go ahead and get that up there, get a picture up there so you can see it. And maybe I'll throw it up there when I edit the video so you can see it while we're talking and get real fancy. So final rundown, guys. Aaron, where can we find you at?
Yeah, I'm always on Twitter at Aaron Bauer 91. I am constantly tweeting about the Olympics because I used to be a journalist covering them. Also, MLS soccer because I can't get enough of it. And a lot of world politics these days because I'm finally not employed for my old employer, so I can tweet about politics. I am a freelance journalist. If you need people to write about things, hit me up. I can write about anything.
Hit him up. He does the things. So, all the things, the writing things.
All the writing things.
Where can we find you, Tanner?
TW McLeod on Twitter. Instagram, I don't really use that much, and I just had to look up what my Twitter name was just now because I don't remember it, and I'm terrible at remembering social media stuff. Mostly complaining about Manchester United and other soccer things because, well, that's all I really care about, and I hate myself. So, it is what it is.
I feel that.
I love a self-deprecating outro. Always gets the juices flowing. You can find us at UnrelATL on all the social media platforms. You can find me at JayWRiddle.
Had to get the new one. Also, come to find out, you're not the only one to get taken down for Celine Dion.
By the way, there have now been 2 or 3 people that are big influencers for other things. The Eagles,
Newcastle
United, who have lost like 10,000 followers because
wow.
they had the same thing. They put a Celine Dion song to a goal.
Yeah, the Titanic song.
Yeah, the Titanic song.
That was a meme for a while.
And they got their account suspended because of Celine Dion's attorneys.
Wow.
So I am not the only one. I'm going to start a support group. If I keep seeing these accounts keep going down, maybe we'll create like a we'll get something. We'll fund therapy through a GoFundMe or something for people that have. I only lost 3,500 followers. Some of these guys lost like 10,000 followers.
Sure, yeah. You should all start like a Patreon together.
Yeah, there you go. Nothing helps like a Patreon. And it helps Patreon because they get that sweet percentage. You can find Kelly at @TheKellyFrancis and on Instagram and Twitter, and you can find Jessica on Twitter at JessicaATLUTD. Thank you for joining us, Aaron. I think it's really cool you're a season ticket holder, but you also stay true to your Red Bulls, that you support your local Atlanta team, but you've got this whole dynamic. I love it. It's kind of unique. I thought it was a unique perspective, so thank you for spending time with us.
No, I'm happy that you let me tweet at you and I magically could just appear here. I hope I lived up to my billing at the beginning.
We'll send you an invoice for tonight.
Oh, yeah, please do. I'll get back to you in 6 to 9 months, like
just
the
like
other people that owe me money.
Just like a writer waiting a year for your paycheck. All right, guys, thanks so much, and we'll catch you next time, guys.